Hi everyone. So today I'm going to address a few things like germophobia. Firstly, before I address that though, here I have 3 computers. Yes, I have 3 computers, 2 of which are mine from a long time ago. One's more recent for my gaming purposes because you need to have new computers to play new games. That's just the way it works and you kind of deal with it. But the computer I have here is currently installing Service Pack 3, just finished, so that's good. And if you know anything about installing XP operating systems on previously Windows 7 computer, I think? Possibly? No, it's not Windows 7. Vista. Yeah, the bad one. If you know anything about that and I get stuck here, let me know that you can help, and I would like that because it's getting kind of frustrating. Anyway, taking care of that. So secondly, germophobia. Germophobia is the fear of germs. Americans are terribly afraid of germs just because it's in our culture. You know, always wash your hands, swine flu, this and that. I mean, those are legitimate things. However, some things are just overly done, and they just don't make any sense. Example, hand sanitizer. This is the issue I'm going to address. Most of you understand this issue, that like where it comes from, how hand sanitizer is a terrible invention and the usage of it is actually really bad. The reason why it's bad, firstly, is because it's a waste of money. Just use water, hot water, soap. That's all you really need. Additionally, why it's bad is because it kills 99.9%. Right? Let's just say 99.9% of germs are killed when you put that little hand sanitizer on. When you put the hand sanitizer on, the dirt doesn't go away. The germs aren't magically gone. They're still on your hand. They're dead. But that 0.1% that's not dead, so they have dead bodies, so if you just imagine that. So you have that firstly. And secondly, that 0.1% will be immune, eventually, to that antibacterial hand sanitizer. So with the hand sanitizer, it just makes it worse because then they will reproduce, because that's what germs do. They reproduce just like we do. They will reproduce and those strains will be immune to that kind of hand sanitizer and it won't be useful anymore. So we can't use it for our antibacterial, like clearing infections for real serious purposes because those strains will be immune and they will be resistant. So don't use that sanitizer. Hot water and soap. That's number 1. 2. Not really into germophobia too much, except that some people go like, ew, this is dirty, and I don't want to touch that, and they just do these unnecessary things. Either on the bus or sitting down on the grass, you know, it's just ridiculous things about germs. You need to go to some kind of second world or third world country to understand, or maybe just Philadelphia in general. If you're from here, just go to somewhere that's dirty. No, actually that won't work, because you won't understand the culture. So just go to a second world or third country where everything is germs, and you just gotta live with it, and you gotta deal, and you gotta go with toilets that don't flush. So example, Taiwan, China, France, there's plenty of places that don't have flushing water toilets, and then you'll just appreciate what we have and stop whining and complaining about the dirtiness, because it's really not that dirty. Just deal. Okay. Lastly, on this little topic here, dishwashers. I'm going to make fun of people who use dishwashers, not the makers. The makers are fine because they're making a lot of money. The users of dishwashers is ridiculous. Firstly, you put the dish in the dishwasher and then you run it for a couple hours or whatever, you look at it and it still has the grime on it, so you put it back in and you do a second run. And then it doesn't work eventually, so you scrub it off with your hands. Really. As opposed to, well, and even with that, people pre-wash their dishes. You pre-wash their dish, that's what I'm told. They rinse the dish, they pre-wash it, so they can put it in the dishwasher, and then they can fully wash it. And this is where, like, why do you do that? Some people say because it's germophobia, because it's dirty, or it's cleaner when you wash it through the dishwasher, and the heat dries it, and it's sparkling clean. It's like, yeah, it doesn't really matter. You could just hand wash it. Just use hot water and soap again, and it'll get rid of it. And your body will eventually adapt. It's capable of doing that, honestly. So, if you're pre-washing it, and you take about 3 seconds to pre-wash it, if you take an extra 2 seconds on that, it will be fully washed. Yeah. So it's like 2 things with dishwashers, like laziness, pure laziness, because they're pre-washing and putting it in, or they're leaving it there for days, days, not weeks hopefully, but days, and then they put it in the dishwasher hoping it'll take care of it. Whereas you could just put it in the dish sink, fill it with water, whatever the container is, and that will deteriorate it over time. So the next day, if you don't want to wash it that night, you can just wash it in the morning or the next evening, and they'll be already pre-soaked and washed out. Any case, Asians already got this for the most part. We understand the concept of dishwasher is a silly thing. Some other people, I don't understand why you have to use a dishwasher, why, but I'm making fun of you, of course, but stop using dishwasher. It's a waste of your time. Just hand wash it. You'll also, you'll build some character out of it, right? So that's that. Hold on, just checking one last thing. Okay, so also one last thing, just to know, you don't really need to test this or anything like that. Urine, so pee, for those unfamiliar with the term, urine is sterile. So when you use the restroom, you're constantly washing your hands. Washing your hands is good. Always a good practice. I do that all the time, instilled in you as a young child. But urine is sterile. Don't drink it, but it's not going to cause any problems. So it's disease-free. That's what sterile means. It's disease-free, and the only reason it will have the dirtiness factor is because it smells, and if it happens to pass through the part of the system where you do have disease, then I'll have disease. But other than that, that's that. So that's a little fun fact there. I know you really didn't know that, but urine is sterile. So good job, urine. All right, I'm gonna peace out here and finish my laptop, installing this dealio. Have a good day, and I'll see you later.